Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 1st, 2018. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's games as well, go over a big baseball injury and a possible big baseball injury for at least this weekend, and I'll close the podcast by doing my NFL over-unders for the season with the Hall of Fame game tomorrow between the Ravens and the Bears. All right, baseball from yesterday, I'm just going to go through the scores and the winning, losing, and saves in terms of the pitchers, not necessarily just the scoring. The Giants defeated the Padres 2 in 10 innings as they improved to 55 and 54. The Padres dropped to 42 and 68. Tony Watson improves to 4-4. Phil Maton drops to 0-2. Will Smith gets a sixth save of the year. The Phillies defeated the Red Sox 3-1 as they improved to 59 and 48. Boston drops to 75 and 34. Jake Arrieta improves to 9 and 6. Drew Pomeranz drops to 1 and 5. Seranthony Dominguez gets his 11th save of the season. The Yankees defeated the Orioles 6-3 as they improved to 68 and 37. Baltimore drops to 32 and 75. Masahiro Tanaka improves to 9 and 2. Jeffrey Ramirez drops to 1 and 4. Aroldis Chapman gets his 29th save of the year. The Nationals defeated the Mets 25-4 as they improved to 53 and 53. The Mets dropped to 44 and 60. Tanner Roark improves to 5 and 12. Steven Matz drops to 5 and 9. The Pirates defeated the Cubs 5-4 as they improved to 56 and 52. The Cubs dropped to 61 and 45. Jameson Taillon improves to 8 and 8. John Lester drops to 2 and 4. Felipe Vasquez gets his 24th save of the year. The Tigers defeated the Reds 2-1 as they improved to 46 and 42. The Reds dropped to 48 and 59. Matt Boyd improves to 6 and 9. Homer Bailey drops to 1 and 8. Shane Green gets his 22nd save of the year. The Rays defeated the Angels 10-6 as they improved to 54 and 53. The Angels dropped to 54 and 54. Ryan Yarbrough improves to 10 and 5. Tyler Skaggs drops to 8 and 7. The Braves defeated the Marlins 11-6 as they improved to 57 and 47. The Marlins dropped to 46 and 63. Colby Allard improves to 1-0. Dan Sterling drops to 4 and 5. The Royals defeated the White Sox 4-2 as they improved to 33 and 73. The White Sox dropped to 37 and 69. Danny Duffy improves to 7 and 9. James Shields drops to 4 and 13. Willie Peralta gets his 6th save of the year. The Indians defeated the Twins 6-2 as they improved to 58 and 48. The Twins dropped to 49 and 57. Trevor Bauer improves to 10 and 6. Kyle Gibson drops to 5 and 8. Cody Allen gets his 21st save of the year. The Rockies defeated the Cardinals 6-3 as they improved to 58 and 48. The Cardinals dropped to 54 and 53. John Gray improves to 9 and 7. Jack Flaherty drops to 4 and 6. Wade Davis gets his 31st save of the year. The Diamondbacks defeated the Rangers 6-0 as they improved to 60 and 49. The Rangers dropped to 46 and 63. Zach Godley improves to 12 and 6. Bartolo Colon drops to 6 and 10. The Athletics defeated the Blue Jays 6-2 as they improved to 63 and 46. Toronto drops to 48 and 58. Trevor Cahill improves to 3 and 2. Sam Gaviglio drops to 2 and 4. The Astros defeated the Mariners 5-2 to end their 5-game losing streak as they improved to 68 and 41. Seattle drops to 63 and 44. Charlie Morton improves to 12 and 2. Mike Leake drops to 8 and 7. Hector Rondon gets his 10th save of the year. The Brewers defeated the Dodgers 1-0 as they improved to 63 and 47. The Dodgers dropped to 59 and 49. Wade Miley improves to 2 and 1. Walker Buehler drops to 4 and 4. Jerry Jeffries gets his 4th save of the year. Today's games: Mets Nationals, Noah Syndergaard and Tommy Malone. Orioles Yankees, Alex Cobb and Sonny Gray. Reds Tigers, Sal Romano, Mike Fiers. Indians Twins, Carlos Carrasco and Adalberto Medina. 3:30 Blue Jays Athletics, Marcus Stroman and Sean Manaea. 4 o'clock Astros Mariners, Dallas Keuchel and Wade LeBlanc. Cubs Pirates at 7 o'clock. You have Cole Hamels making his Cubs debut against Nick Kingham. Angels Rays, Nick Trapiano against Tyler Glasnow. Glasnow making his Rays debut. 7:30 Marlins Braves, Pablo Lopez and Anibal Sanchez. 8 o'clock Royals White Sox, Jacob Junis and Dale and Covey. 8:15 Rockies Cardinals, Kyle Freeland and Luke Weaver. 10 o'clock Brewers Dodgers. Chase Anderson and Rich Hill. Chris Sale was placed on the 10-day DL yesterday with shoulder inflammation. This is a big loss for the Red Sox. He was supposed to pitch tomorrow night against the Yankees. That is an absolutely huge loss. Yes, the Yankees losing Aaron Judge is big too, but I think this is an even bigger loss because the Red Sox just lost the heart and soul of that pitching staff, who's the front runner right now for the AL Cy Young, unless he misses some time and the likes of Justin Verlander catch up to him in the race. And Jay Happ was diagnosed with hand, foot, and mouth disease, so he might miss his next start against the Red Sox for the Yankees. That could be a huge loss, depending on whether he misses the start or not. Now I'm going to do my NFL season win total over-unders for the regular season. This is going to be fun. I did mine for college last Wednesday. And now today I'm going to do my ones for the NFL. I'm going to go through all the teams in alphabetical order and pick my overs and my unders. And I have one lock per division. First up, the Arizona Cardinals. Their numbers at 5.5. I'm going to take the over here, but a slim over. I think they could start the season 3-1 with a favorable home schedule. And I think Josh Rosen could be an offensive rookie of the year candidate. The Atlanta Falcons numbers at 9. I'm going to take the over. I think their schedule is very favorable. I think they can win the division for the third straight year, although I don't love offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian. The Baltimore Ravens number is at 8. I'm going to take the under. Their schedule is pretty difficult, and John Harbaugh and Joe Flacco are on the hot seat. The Buffalo Bills number is at 6.5. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to call a huge step back from last year. Josh Allen could either be Carson Wentz or a complete bust, although I like their head coach Sean McDermott. The Carolina Panthers numbers at 8.5. I'm going to take an over, and this is my lock for the NFC South. I feel like this is a double-digit win season in the making for Carolina. They'll have some key pieces on the offensive line and on the defense, but Cam Newton's still around and Ron Rivera's still around, and they have other key cogs still on that team from the last couple years. The Chicago Bears number is at 6.5. I'm going to take the under, and this is my lock of the NFC North. Such a hard schedule. The NFC North is loaded. They have 2 contenders in that division, maybe 3 if Detroit pans out. And I think Mitch Trubisky has to be good this season, or else the Bears, I think, are in a little bit of trouble. The Cincinnati Bengals numbers at 5.5. I'm going to take the over. There's still talent on this roster, although I think they should have made a coaching change. Their schedule is favorable. The Cleveland Browns number is 4.5, and I'm going to take the under, and this is my lock of the AFC North. Although I think it's a slim under. I think it could be 4-12 or 3-13. I'm fascinated to see if Baker Mayfield sees some time or not. The Dallas Cowboys numbers at 8.5. I'm going to take the over, although I don't feel good about this. Dak Prescott has to be better in year 3 than he was in year 2. Ezekiel Elliott being back will help Dak Prescott and that offense. And I think Jason Garrett, a.k.a. the Clapper, is on the hot seat. The Denver Broncos numbers at 7.5, and I'm going to take the under. I think this is the lock of the AFC West. I just don't see Case Keenum being as good as he was last year. Bradley Chubb, I think, could be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Vance Joseph, to me, is a coach that's on the hot seat. The Detroit Lions numbers at 7.5. I'm going to take the under. Matt Patricia, wild card. I don't know whether he's going to be a good hire or not. And I didn't love some of the moves they made this offseason. The Green Bay Packers numbers at 10. I'm going to take the under, although I think this is a push in the making. I don't love their defense. I don't love them bringing in Jimmy Graham and losing Jordy Nelson. But Aaron Rodgers is still around. The Houston Texans number is 8.5. I'm going to take the over. J.J. Watt's back to help that defense. Deshaun Watson's back at quarterback. And those two guys are coming off injuries, but those two guys are difference makers. And I think this is a dark horse Super Bowl contender. The Indianapolis Colts number is at 6.5. I'm going to take the under, and this is my lock of the AFC South. Andrew Luck's back, but the roster still isn't good, although they made some nice draft picks this year. Frank Reich is their new head coach. Maybe that'll help. The Jacksonville Jaguars number's at 9. I'm going to take the over, although I think this could be a push. Blake Bortles is under pressure to succeed with his new contract, although their schedule sets up nice this year. The Kansas City Chiefs number's at 8.5. I'm going to take the under. I'm a big fan of Patrick Mahomes. I could easily see this going over, but my issue is that they don't have a real, true number one wide receiver. Sammy Watkins isn't the answer. He's not Odell Beckham Jr., he's not Antonio Brown, he's not Julio Jones. The Los Angeles Chargers number's at 9.5. I'm going to take the under. There are so many injuries from Jason Verrett, among others. But I can still see this going over because you can make a case that this is the most talented team in this division. I like their head coach, Anthony Lynn, and Phillip Rivers is still playing at a high level. Their schedule is pretty difficult. This is either 10-6 or 9-7. The Los Angeles Rams are at 10. I'm taking the over. This is the lock of the NFC West. I absolutely love this roster. This is a Super Bowl contender. I think Sean McVay is an outstanding head coach. Jared Goff, year 3. Year 2 is no fluke. I think this is the guy who he is. Courtesy of McVay and courtesy of improvement. The Miami Dolphins number is at 5.5. I'm going to take the under. The schedule is so difficult. Adam Gase is a coach that's on the hot seat. Ryan Tannehill, I'm interested to see how he plays this season. The Minnesota Vikings number is at 10. I'm going to take the over. I could see this being a push. This is the best roster in the NFC North. And I think Mike Zimmer is a very good coach. The New England Patriots number's at 11. I'm taking the over. This is the lock of the AFC East. Easy schedule as always in perhaps the worst division in the league. And the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady combo is still around. Ron Gronkowski's still around too. The New Orleans Saints number's at 9.5. I'm going to take the over. I like how the schedule sets up. Their offense is loaded, led by Drew Brees. Sean Payton's still in town. The New York Giants, number 7. I'm going to take the under. The schedule's very hard. Saquon Barkley, to me, is the favorite for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. Odell Beckham Jr. back from his injury. Although I could see this being a push and them going 7-9. But what worries me about this team is whether Eli Manning will be good or not, because he was not good the last 2 years despite having an awful offensive line. The offensive line's improved. No more excuses for Eli Manning. And I believe he only has 2 more years left of his contract. The New York Jets number is at 6. I'm taking the under. The schedule's very hard. I think Sam Darnold should start over Teddy Bridgewater and Josh McCown. Todd Bowles is a coach that I think is on the hot seat. The Oakland Raiders number's at 8. I'm going to take the over. Wouldn't rule out a push. John Gruden hasn't coached in over a decade. And my question is, can he do a good job with a somewhat aging roster? There's some aging guys on this team. Marshawn Lynch and Jordy Nelson. Some other guys as well. Although what matters to the Raiders is that they have so many foundation pieces that are in their prime, such as Derek Carr and Khalil Mack. And Mack wants a new contract too, so there's a holdout there, perhaps. The Philadelphia Eagles number's at 10.5. I'm going to take the over. I think it could go under if Nick Foles falters in Carson Wentz's absence. I really am a big fan of Doug Peterson. I think he did an outstanding job last year leading this team to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers numbers at 10.5. This may surprise some folks. I'm going to take the under. Although I don't feel good about it, I could see them going over and going 11-5. But to me, I think it's a slim under, probably 10-6. Their hard part of their schedule is on the road. I don't love the Le'Veon Bell situation. And that could be a distraction to the team. The San Francisco 49ers numbers at 8.5. I'm taking the under. Although it's a slim under, I believe this is the most overhyped team in the NFL by a mile. And a lot of that has to do with how Jimmy Garoppolo came in and succeeded right away and didn't lose a game. And now a lot of people are looking at them as a Super Bowl contender. I just don't see it. They're not even the best team in their own division. That's the Los Angeles Rams, not the San Francisco 49ers. Although I do like their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, and I think he's going to end up doing a great job there. The Seattle Seahawks numbers at 8. I'm going to take the over. I don't feel good about this. Russell Wilson's still around, so is Pete Carroll. Although I could see this being a push. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers numbers at 6.5. I'm going to take the under. No Jameis Winston the first couple of games of the season. Dirk Cutter's a coach that's on the hot seat. And I think this is the worst team in the division. The Tennessee Titans numbers 8. I'm going to take the under. Although it feels like a push in the making. Marcus Mariota has to be better this year. This team has a new head coach in Mike Vrabel. And that should be interesting. The Washington Redskins numbers at 7. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to say this is the lock of the NFC East. Jay Gruden's a coach that's on the hot seat. Alex Smith is a guy that's been good the last couple years, but he's aging. Alex Smith had a by far better supporting cast in Kansas City than he does in Washington. I'm calling this one the lock of the division. The lock of the division would have been the Eagles over if Carson Wentz was healthy. But he's not. So I'm going to say this is the lock of the division, although the Giants at under 7, you could have talked me into a lock. Although I feel like that could be a push in the making. The Dallas over 8.5, my case against that being a lock is whether Dak Prescott makes that jump or not. So I'm going to say the Redskins under 7 is a lock and say this ends up going 6-10 or 5-11. With there being maybe a firing of Jay Gruden at the end of the season. That's it for the NFL over-unders, and that's it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow doing my NFL power rankings, as well as going over all the baseball action and going over any other news that breaks in the world of sports. Hope you guys have a great day.